Hello, good morning. You are listening to Athavan News. Today, Monday, 25th of July 2016. I am Edward Udedas with the highlights of today's English newspapers. As usual, we have three newspapers for the highlight: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. The main headline of the Daily Mirror says, "I will not go home until this country is developed," says PM. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said on Saturday that he would not go home until this country is converted into a developed nation. Speaking at the United National Party membership drive in the Central Province, Mr. Wickremesinghe said this government was elected to develop the country and it would remain till that objective is achieved. Some say this government should be toppled. What for? They make many demands, but the one of those which is hidden among others is that the government should be handed over to them to rob the country, he added. Another highlight says, "We must teach journalists a good lesson. Media personnel who defended the previous regime, which robbed the country, will have to be dealt with," Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said on Saturday. The Premier said these media personnel had no issue with those who robbed the nation as they were wined and dined by those in the previous government. Last Monday's Daily Mirror called for the removal of Foreign Affairs Minister Mangala Samaraweera. I know the editor of the Daily Mirror. He once wrote saying I too should be removed from the UNP leadership. We will have to see what we should do if he does not resign from his post. He is possessed by Mahinda Rajapaksa. Daily Mirror carried anti-Tamil, anti-Muslim articles. We should teach them a lesson before they call for the resignation of our ministers, he said. And the headline carries the news of triple murder in Batticaloa. 3 hacked to death. A family of 3, including an 18-month-old girl, were found hacked to death in Vellavali, Batticaloa yesterday morning, police said. The victims, residents of Mandur, were identified as a 25-year-old woman, her 56-year-old father and his granddaughter. Police said the bodies of a woman and a girl were found inside the well at their home, and the male victim had succumbed to his injuries after being admitted to the Batticaloa hospital. Tourist taken into custody for begging. A tourist who was playing the violin on the roadside to earn money was taken into custody by the Ella police. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. The main headline says, "Executive presidency should go," says President. Measures to introduce new constitution. Corrupt politicos, officials will be punished. President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday reiterated that he will continue to set in motion measures to abolish the executive presidency and introduce a new constitution. The president said that he always believed the executive presidency, which has vast powers, should go, and added that this has to be done constitutionally. Speaking at a ceremony in Kegol to commemorate Minister Dayasri Senanayake, the president said the unity government of the SLFP and the UNP has identified the necessary changes that should be made to ensure lasting socio-economic growth, and added that obstacles will not deter the government from introducing them. President Joint Opposition meeting today. Members of the Joint Opposition will meet President Maithripala Sirisena for a special discussion today. Joint Opposition sources yesterday confirmed that they will meet the President. A prominent Joint Opposition member, when contacted, said he was unaware about the topic of the discussion. The discussion, according to informed political sources, will take place at the President's official residence. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. Chief Magistrate suspended. Minuwangoda Chief Magistrate and District Judge I.M. Dhammika Ilangasinghe has been suspended by the Judicial Services Commission with effect from 23 July. Investigating officers of the commission had gone to Minuwangoda Court on 22 July following several complaints received by the Judicial Services Commission. They held an investigation subsequent to which they had taken away some case books and suspended the magistrate. Jaffna Uni unable to begin classes, Sinhala students attendance weak. There were an inadequate number of Sinhala students attending the university at present. Therefore, they were unable to commence studies at the university, said the Vice Chancellor of the Jaffna University, Vasanthi Rasaratnam. She added that although requests were made to Sinhala students to return, so that studies and examinations at the Jaffna University could begin. Since an adequate number of single students had not returned up, it was not possible to commence teaching or examinations. Top defense team goes north, evaluates army-led resettlement projects. Land back to owners after security check. A high-profile delegation of defense officials, including Defense Secretary Karunasena Hettiaraju and Army Commander Lieutenant General Krishant De Silva, visited Jaffna yesterday in order to evaluate the status of the army-led resettlement projects. Sources revealed that the delegation visited the area to evaluate the status of the army-released civilian lands in Jaffna and the progress of the ongoing house construction projects by the army for accelerated resettlement of the displaced persons. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan Newspaper Highlights.